Well, we're starting off our stream different here. We're supposed to drop our intro. Yeah, we're live at the shop. Here we go. Copyright disclaimer under section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Did that off the top of the dome, niggas. Yeah, 107. We got that right. What is up? Yes, we're live at the shop. And I see we got Blazer stepping in first place. What's going on, Gustavo, Gerald, Roger? Yes, we're at the shop. It's been a wild Saturday, let me tell you. Actually, starting from last night. And happy Earth Strong, or happy birthday to my niece. Yeah, Mia. Celebrating another one. Yeah, it was just my other niece's birthday. Earlier this week. What's up, P&W Rush? And yeah, my family's big, so it seems like it's almost like every other week is someone's birthday in my family. So we're always celebrating. And hopefully you are all enjoying your Saturday. Yeah, it's a beautiful one here in sunny Los Angeles. Yeah, temperatures have changed. What it do, LIB? Yeah, happy birthday. Appreciate that. Let's see. Pop up the comments, damn it. It's not popping up the comments. What's going on? Riverside. Yeah, I heard Riverside now. I was just checking my phone and the app. I have the app also on my phone. And we're talking about that they now made it possible for you to stream on one other platform, which was YouTube from your phone, which is pretty cool. We're using the laptop here. But today I noticed, I checked again, because there was actually some smoke billowing from down the block. I was like, oh, there's a fire. Maybe we should live stream this in case it gets out of control. And so I noticed on the app you could multi-stream now. I've seen all the other different platforms that we're streaming on now, like Twitch, Rumble, Kick, and X and Twitch. Did I say Twitch? Yeah, you can stream on all that using your phone. I've seen all those options now. So I didn't test the live there. There it is. Now the comments are popping up. What up, LIB? Roger, how's the grill going? Bar and Grill's now open. Roger's here. Yeah, we got DJ Cuber up on the big screen. Yeah, he's been live streaming on his channel, YouTube channel, for several hours now. So what's up with that? Yeah, super cool. So we have that live going on at the shop. Last night we had an event. I think it was a punk show. But after the shop, we went to go celebrate my niece's birthday, right? So fam time, which was cool. It was late, but my brother came back. We actually closed the shop. We were gonna have someone cover for us and keep the shop open while the event was going on. That didn't plan out. So we just closed shop, regular time. And bro came back because he has to clean up after the event and everything. So he was here to like past 2:30 in the morning. And then this morning when I got here, there was an event already happening there, and which is cool. It was a youth event. And they've been doing this since last week. So I think every weekend they're going to be having this now. I don't know. But they were there already. And then the porta potty guy came for last night's show. So I got to open the door for him. Customers are coming in because the coffee shop was open. It was just on and crack. I was like, whoa, all over the place, multitasking, taking care of business. And bro hasn't been feeling too good. So he slept in, of course. He just got here not too long ago. And thankfully he's here. We're going to do this solo. We're going to do this regardless. What up, Mad Pax? Bless up, brother. Good to see you. And I could read all those emojis. Come on, Riverside. Y'all got to be able to show the emojis and then the stuff that is popping up on the YouTube side of things. But I guess it's different. What would you say? I don't know. I'm not a tech dude, but I guess is YouTube runs off OBS. I've heard people say before. I could be wrong. I don't even know what that means. But I guess it's a different streaming service. So maybe like StreamYard seems to show all the little widgets and cool little things that like the super chats, for instance, and all that on their screen and everything. So I don't think Riverside is compatible with YouTube like that yet. So that's why I got the monitor going here just in case. So I see Blazer dropped the link there. What's that all about? Maya Starfire, right on. Is she up in the chat? What's up, Maya? If you are, she's a NorCal girl, NorCal gal. What up, Ridshot? Yeah, and I did get to hang out with Midwest Night Watchers actually last night. They did their Friday night stream, and even though we were enjoying the birthday, I tapped in with them, said what's up, hung out here and there. So that's always fun. And yeah, so Friday nights, y'all know what her catch is over at Midwest Night Watchers' channel. Yeah, there's Maya. Greetings to you. How's NorCal today? How's the weather up that way? Yeah, they're spraying around out here. Most of you know what I mean. The sky farts. They're flying around spraying that stuff. So we're getting some of that action. We had a military flyover. It's been a while. Some of you may not know, but I want to say about 2 years ago, we were noticing a lot of military activity flying directly over the shop, different types of military aircraft. And we were noticing little things around them, strange objects and stuff. So we were documenting them quite a bit. Also, local aircraft from LAX airport flies over right directly over the shop. And same thing with those things. And yeah, so today we had a chopper. If you're in the LA area, maybe you've noticed it. Let's see. All right, there we go. Thank you. But now I gotta press play. Let's see. So I gotta do this. Here we go. I'm gonna play this. I didn't notice any objects on this one, but this is the chopper that's been flying around. This is the third time, and then you get to get a view of the skies and some of the sky farts that I was just mentioning. So what is going on today?
It's been a while since we've seen him. That guy's been going around today. That's the third time I see it. We used to get them frequently. Look, quite a bit of spray, some clearing here, but definitely some spraying going on. It's moving that way.
Anyway, we're gonna be keeping an eye out. Maybe some of that chopper activity will ramp up again. I have noticed them on a few other occasions recently, but not constant. It was almost daily before. And again, some of you may remember that. But yeah, what's going on? A whole lot going on out there. It's freaking cold. You hate it. Do you have to burn do you have a wood stove? Do you have to burn wood where you're at, or do you have gas heating? Hopefully that's not an intrusive question, but yeah, when I was living in Humboldt, and we weren't in town, we being up on the hill, yeah, we had to definitely get our wood ready. And luckily, the property had plenty of wood around, and sometimes we'd take a few trees down. I wouldn't do it. I'm not good with the chainsaw. I don't know if I am. Maybe I am. I just prefer not to use it. I let the experts handle that, but I could definitely chop wood up and definitely use the wood splitter. And that's a fun one. But yeah, no, the axe and everything, and stacking wood, everything else. But if need be, if I need to use a chainsaw, I could. Trust me, I could, but I prefer not to. I've heard a lot of horror stories up there, but yeah, that was always fun. And madrone, one of my favorite woods to burn. Let's see, lots of black choppers here too. What? And are you sure it's not camp? For those that don't know, camp up in Northern California, camp. What was it, folks? Campaign against marijuana production. Yeah, those are the choppers that would come and land and raid people's farms. I think they still do it, but it was heavy. So there were certain years that people. I heard stories of people getting camped and stuff like that, and I've seen those choppers myself. Yeah, BD got some stories with those choppers up there. Let's see, my partner does have a firewood company, and I know how to use a chainsaw now. Right on. Yeah, you got to. Yeah, up there, especially being up on the hill, they recommend carrying a chainsaw in your rig at all times, as well as some other tools. Blazer in Montana, you are the wood splitter. Yeah. Yeah, no, once I got to use, there's, I think, maybe several occasions, but there's this, I guess, this little point in time I was working at some place and they had the splitter there. I want to say we rented one once too, but then our good neighbor from Vermont who had all the toys on the hill, you could think of water trucks, backhoes, skidders, everything, wood mill, gifted us a cord of wood once, one season. That was super cool. Got to stay on his good side, That's them good neighbors you want to have. Anyway, a lot happening out here, folks. Let's get into it before they start erasing some of these green dots on us. We're going to get into some Bigfoot reports. And you could probably hear DJ Qbert in the background there. We're going to turn that down a little bit. Hear a bunch of scratching back there. He's amazing. Check him out, DJ Qbert. And, he's very much into all the topics. Bless you, bro. All the topics that we're into, from Tartaria to Bigfoot to everything. We've talked about the break. So finally, I don't know what's going on with my DJ system, but I've been having trouble getting it going here. And I've been switching mixers. I've been having problems. I thought it was maybe a cord or something. All of a sudden, it's working here today. But it's not my turntables. It's my controller. And so I'm happy that it's working. But anyway, DJ Qbert has all these breaks, which are beats for you to scratch to, and they're all titled differently, like Tartaria breaks. What is it? False information breaks. 20 and back breaks. We've talked about them. Reptilian breaks. The file breaks are probably be next. Anyway, yeah, files. Mentioning files. We talked about recently. What up, Chiro Sounds? There you are. Were you taking? You know, it's a little past 4:20. I know some of you are just coming in, maybe finishing your session. I got it on early, so hopefully everyone's feeling nice. If not, just chill out in the chat long enough. You'll start feeling it. Cheers. What was I gonna pull up? Yeah, yo. So aliens, and we were talking about this just the other day. I seen Mad Pax drop some comment. He left his peace of mind on this whole issue. Yeah, I didn't hear too much else from anyone else. Yeah, let me know your thoughts on this whole situation here. Switching gears, let's get into this squatchy business. So we recently touched on, what was it? BC, the report right across the Washington border there. And that was an interesting one. That was a fun one. But we have a new green dot here. And if we drop the Squatch, and I'm glad the green dot disappeared, because there's one out of Colorado the other day that just vanished, just like Bigfoot usually does. And the report disappeared like Bigfoot. And I want to shout out also really quick Eric over from Hairy Man Road on YouTube, Media Palace. He had his, what was it, Patreon premiere. So he's been doing this FOIA's Freedom of Information Act requests to different states and different law enforcement agencies for their cryptid or Bigfoot reports, if they have anything like that. I hear a little fuzz. Maybe I'm tripping. Gonna have to check the audio later, but whatever. We're gonna keep on rocking. So he's been doing these Freedom of Information Acts, and this recent one, if you haven't kept up with him, we've been sharing his stuff. He got one out of Arizona State, I believe, and it was Manila, nice Manila packages. Those are always fun to open because usually it's something fun inside, right? And so he received it, and he has to pay for these, so that's why he decided to unbox it, even though it wasn't a box, a live unboxing over on Patreon. And you gotta, pay a little bit because he had to pay for these. And yeah, so I paid part of his Patreon. And one other person was there doing a live stream. I thought there was gonna be more people showing up, but it was just me and Jeremiah from Bigfoot Society. Yeah, that was pretty cool. So salute to Jeremiah. We always shout him out here. And it was nice to see him there. And he opened the package, and there was some stuff in there. I'll just leave you with that. Maybe I'll give you a little more. There was some interesting stuff in there. And he shared some of it with us there. And I'm sure you're gonna probably be able to see some more of what we're talking about here, maybe eventually on his channel. But there was some good stuff in there, and I can't wait to hear more of it. There was just more to get into. He wasn't able to do everything at that moment. So yeah, shout out to Eric, and keep up the good work, bro. And who else? Yeah, Yeah, Kaiju Ninja too. He did a little Funko. And anyone check out the post this morning? He Funkoed me out. I was like, whoa. You know, my brother has one of those little dolls, but actually a real one. He's had it made, but Kaiju Ninja has produced a prototype. Yeah, Bigfoot dwarf in Funko version. Bigfoot investigator. I think it said researcher on there. What up, Pancho George? The Bud Files. What's going on? Welcome on in. Yeah, let's get into this report here. It's looking like Pennsylvania again. We actually just did Pennsylvania a couple streams ago, 3 times. And it was out of Century, Pennsylvania. And you know what? Okay, perfect. I just seen my friend there and I have some recycling for her. And I told her to come on through on her way back. She's on a mission right now. Good luck to her. Yeah. I always wish her the best and safety too, because she's ran into some situations out in the street that she's shared and it's messed up. Whoa, look at all them squatches all over the place. So we're going to zoom on in here, drop the squatch. But as we drop it, you could see some of the squatches seem to not be around so much. So not too many reports in this general area. And you could see, how do you pronounce that? Cootersport? Cootersport seems to be the closest town there. Route 6 West is one of the roads that I see. Looks like so that probably all is Cootersport, I would imagine. Maybe this whole looks like a town there. Greetings. Yeah, we're getting customers up in here. That's right. Looks like a road 44 here, but over in this area, you can see it looks like maybe a farm. See a little house here. And this looks like maybe some farmland there that's ready to get either planted or looks like a couple patches of who knows what over here, but got a Niles Hill Road there. And looks like this sighting was on the property, possibly. Let's click here, and it says 521.89. Yeah, who was around in 89? I think most of you were. And it says 5:30 p.m. Height 7.5 feet. 4 people saw Bigfoot running across a field. Upon realization, what we saw immediately drove away. Bigfoot was not running at us, just running across an open field much faster than a person. Wow. Color, black or brown. And I've heard reports, and I'm sure you've heard reports like that before about Bigfoot cutting across a field, an open area, a meadow perhaps. It does happen. And maybe, I don't know, depending on what they're growing. Again, if it is a farm, depending on what they got there on the farm, maybe Bigfoot is interested. Maybe they got some orchards or livestock. Not too much green around this area. It looks pretty dry around here. Who knows? Pretty hilly though. And I do think Bigfoot likes farms. So anyway, if you look, Century was in the middle of Pennsylvania, we learned, Century County. I didn't look up the county this is in. Maybe someone could figure it out. But let's see. If you go north of Century County, it's pretty much in the middle of the state there too, heading north. So I find that interesting. And those Century County reports were 3 reports from different years submitted to the BFRO, Bigfoot mapping. Bigfoot mapping project. That's what we're checking out now. Bigfoot Field Researchers Organization. I think I got that right. They were near Penn State University. So we found that interesting. It was like this streak of reports from that Penn State area. And so this report up here we read last, the previous live stream that was out of was near Vancouver. Check it out again really quick. I won't read it, but trying to see if there was a town that had popped up nearby. Kanaka Creek, I see nearby there. And Kanaka Creek Regional Park, kind of in between both of those areas. But I was scanning around, so make sure you scan around if you're into not only the U.S. reports. I always, check up in Canada. I mean, Canada and Alaska way up there. But I was scanning around, and we have read that Mali report is still there. It's weird. I don't know if it's an actual African report, but there's these yellow reports throughout the planet. And check this out. So Australia's got quite a few. And there's a green one there. So we're going to check out an Aussie report. Where my Aussies at? Where's Aussie Sue? Aussie Ange? Where are all our Aussie? We got quite a few friends from down under. So salute to them. Cheers to them. And I see Steve and Tina. What's up? We're going to hand out a shield there to them. Boom. Let's see. It's very, very near Melbourne. Did I pronounce that right? Melbourne, Australia. Melbourne. I know someone named Melbourne. All right. It pulled up here. So check this out. Date and time of sighting 1/31/26. So it's from this year. The ending of last month. And check out the timing on that. Yep. Here we go. Where my angel number folk at?
11/11, 11/11, 11/11, 11/11, 11/11, 11/11, 11/11.
Oh. Yeah, we got our. Don't worry, Blazer. You're good, brother. Cheers. Yeah, male. Did they spot something? Did it sound like a male? Let's get into some of these details. Hopefully, we find out here. Because you're sure as a male, you probably spotted. Went for a bike ride from Arthur's Seat to McLaren's Dam. Went down to a staircase and took my bike through the bush and saw a big brown thing about 6 to 5 or 6'5". Sorry. And heard wood knocks, color brown. So quick, straight to the point report there out of Australia. And let's zoom in a little closer. See how? All right. So it's not close to Melbourne. It seemed like it. And this is why I recommend dropping the Squatch just to see what else pops up around there, or just to kind of see, because it'll show you basically exactly where it's at, right? A lot of time BFRO will give you coordinates. Yeah, I don't see. Let's see, what's the closest major town here? Anyone make anything out? I see Rosebud Park. Public golf course. My damn throat. Cottonmouth. We're doing all right. We're hanging in there. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe my Aussies could tell us. Yeah, drop us a comment if you know this area. Let's zoom back out a little bit. It looks like an interesting area of Australia there. I guess they have what would you call this? A gulf. All right. Our first Australia report. Hopefully the Aussies will enjoy that. And what do we got going next? All right, we're gonna keep on the Bigfoot trip here. So I think we touched on this one, I think maybe about a month or two ago or so. And is Bigfoot is the latest cryptid coming to Fallout. So some video game news there. Might be able to spot the Squatch if you play Fallout. And I still haven't figured out. We got the Bigfoot Life PC game or computer game, but we're trying to make it compatible with Mac. And so I downloaded this software. I have to test it out. I haven't done it yet. Let's see. Bigfoot stole my bike. Uh-oh. What's going on there, girl? Is this some sort of report I haven't heard of? And I did drop a link in case anyone wanted to jump on. That's at the beginning of the chat, if you could get there. What else is popping? Let's see. We got this Bigfoot Scientific Evidence Research Guide 2026. Says JC Cortland, outdoor gear expert. If you purchase using links in our site, we may earn an affiliate commission, but at no extra cost to you. So I was curious to see what this was all about. So it says from DNA analysis to field research, the complete scientific investigation guide. What is this? The question of Bigfoot's existence today, examining the evidence. Is Bigfoot real? The physical evidence. So it looks like maybe another one of those articles. A lot of articles tend to ask these questions. And it's cool for people getting into the topic and stuff like that. But I think this is maybe stuff that some of us may not be too interested into. But let's see. And these are recent articles released within the past, I guess, week or so. Like this one also. This is Phys.org. It ain't no unicorn. You know, we're questioning unicorns now, as we've been seeing them in some of these maps that Garrel in the chat's been sharing over on some of his live streams. Some of these old world maps with weird creatures. I think we spotted a unicorn recently. It ain't no unicorn. Meet the researchers who've interviewed 130 Bigfoot hunters. Now, does that mean hunt just strictly hunters, the dudes out there trying to kill one, bag one? Or is it just Bigfooters, like Bigfoot investigators, Bigfoot researchers? But yeah, this seems like an interesting one because I think it comes down again to, and I've heard several other people mention it also. And this lady, I never found a documentary. This lady said she was going to do a documentary on actual like Bigfooters, like the psyche of the Bigfooter. And I think that it comes down to, a lot is the human element in all this. That's why there's the wacky circus in the Bigfoot arena, right? That's what I think. It's the people. We're all a little wacky, even if you don't admit it. You're in it for several reasons, and we all got our reasons. But one of those reasons we have in common is that, yeah, we're all a little out there. We're questioning things and are attracted to certain topics and things. I think, yeah, makes us special in a way. Anyway, so there's Patty. And yeah, so it gets into, you can see the questions here. It's a pretty long article, so I won't bore you with reading of that. I'll be stumbling all over the place. And excuse me, I'll jump into the chat in a minute. Let's see. What was it about the Bigfoot community that you found so intriguing? That'll be interesting. How big is this community? Were the interviewees suspicious of your intentions? Do these people have any sort of shared personality traits or other things that connected them? What surprised you the most about them? Did they challenge any stereotypes? So you see some interesting questions they're asking. So this is going to be a good read here. Anyone who likes to still read, I've been practicing here during these lives, and yeah, I think this is one I'm going to dive into maybe later tonight. Anyone else Sharon, what's going on? Polly Rotterman, greetings to you. Who else stepped in here? Right on. Cheers, everybody. What else do we have? Okay, I think as far as Bigfoot, that might be it. So a couple fresh reports there. One out of Australia. Looks like Southern Australia there. And they have a bunch of other old reports. As you can see, it was all lit with a bunch of yellow dots. So maybe in the future we'll get into that. Come on, Aussies, hype me up if you want some more Aussie reports read here. And what else was I gonna say? Jeopardy music. All right, so I got some other articles of news, some local news. We'll get into that. Let's get into this. So thank you, Bigfoot, for bringing us some information and a little entertainment. And not Bigfoot Dwarf. I'm saying all the squatches out there. Yeah, this is some local news. Pretty heavy stuff. Few things. There's always some ish happening. And so here we have Eyewitness News, ABC 7. 29-year-old man charged with, unaliving renowned Caltech astrophysicist at his Yano home. So, and I believe that might be around the Lancaster area, so over the mountains here. And I was like, ooh, man, this is kind of a little odd. And they said that, let's have a listen here. Let's set this up, get a little volume going. Heads up. Make sure we're sharing. Boom. Here we go.
At 5, a Caltech scientist is being remembered by colleagues after he was shot and killed right outside his home. The shooting happened in Yano, an area right.
Okay, let's see. There's Palmdale, Victorville. So in between that. All right. I don't know that area too well. And yes, behind. So Caltech is over here. And so he lived over the mountain. I'm sure a lot of those people do that live or work at NASA and stuff like that. Maybe they live locally, but I'm sure some of them live over the mountain. And let's get into the details.
Palmdale and Victorville. Eyewitness News reporter Rob Hayes live in Pasadena with more on what happened. Rob?
Yeah, the motive behind this murder has not been released just yet, but we do know that the man suspected of killing that Caltech scientist was arrested on his property with a rifle just a couple months ago. Caltech was Carl Grillmaier's professional home for the past 30 years. Here, his life centered on the science of the vast emptiness of space. But it was crime in the vast emptiness of the Antelope Valley that took his life. The 67-year-old astrophysicist was gunned down Monday on the porch of his home in the barren stretches of Llano, the middle of nowhere, which was perfect for his home-built observatory.
You need very dark skies, and that's why he built a nice little observatory up there.
Sergio Fajardo Acosta worked alongside Grillmaier for more than a quarter century, the two studying the collisions of galaxies and searching for water on planets outside our solar system. Sheriff's deputies found Grillmaier shot to death early Monday morning outside his home. A short time later, while working on a carjacking case, they arrested 29-year-old Freddie Snyder, also of Llano, and linked him to Grillmaier's death. He's been charged with several crimes, including murder, burglary, and carjacking. Investigators don't believe Snyder or Grillmaier knew each other, but Snyder was arrested in December for trespassing with a rifle on Grillmaier's property. At Caltech, the murderers left the campus reeling the loss of an award-winning astrophysicist.
What was unique about Carl, and he is irreplaceable, is the ingenuity and the creativity applying methods that nobody had ever taught before. And very unique detective-type methods.
For Fajardo Acosta, though, the loss is much deeper, with no shortage of praise for his colleague.
Yeah, Brother Nighthawk. Yes, there was a lady, and she was part of that series I put. I was wondering, there was several missing persons cases, 2 out of California, and there was one recent, I think it was North Carolina, and they were all wearing red, which we've heard about certain people going hiking and going missing, wearing red possibly. So I was trying to line things up there, which it was pretty interesting. But yeah, there's a lady in these particular mountains that we're talking about here that went hiking last year and went missing. She was with friends and she worked for NASA. So I believe that's the case you're talking about, which I find interesting also. And then, this happening, it just has me pretty curious.
Extremely hardworking, extremely creative, and the most generous individual one can imagine. The field of astronomy has lost a great figure.
Now, Snyder's bail has been set at $2 million. He's due back in court on March 26th. Report.
All right. So what up, Jeff? Welcome on in, brother. Hey, if you missed it, we read off a couple Bigfoot reports, and now we're just getting into some local news. Next, we got Northern California. And, there was another crazy one I shared in the post. This guy that drove, I believe, from the East Coast across the country, got a place in Vegas, and was setting to do something really bad. And he went to this place right outside of Vegas, I believe, which produces power for Los Angeles. And he drove his car into this place, this facility, with some bad intentions, and I heard he ended up taking himself out as well. So that I shared that in the post, and that was just I think yesterday as well, last night or the day before. And yeah, what was this guy up to? So check that out. And here we got some other California news. This is out of Northern California. Did anyone catch this one? This is the International Business Times, February 21st. California UFO sighting forced U.S. Air Force to deploy F-16s on intercept mission. Public seeks answers. So it says here, a viral TikTok video captures the moment F-16s intercept the UFO in Northern California, raising questions about airspace security. And there's a picture there. And I do see looks like a red dot Is it a red orb, red object there? Very interesting. I have not seen the video as I've not been on TikTok. I gotta figure out how to delete the app. And I'm gonna follow through with that, I guess. But there's that. But they do have a TikTok video here. It says a sudden military response over Northern California has reignited national debate over unidentified aerial phenomena. Residents across parts of Northern California reported unusual aircraft activity after what witnesses described as a UFO was detected in restricted airspace. Within minutes, the U.S. Air Force had scrambled F-16s on an intercept mission, prompting alarm and renewed scrutiny of how authorities handle unidentified objects in American skies. The incident gained widespread attention after a viral TikTok video posted by Joey Contino appeared to show fighter jets streaking across the sky. In the clip, the creator claims the aircraft were responding to a UFO sighting in Northern California, asking viewers, why are F-16s flying so low right now? Viral footage sparks questions. The TikTok video quickly accumulated thousands of views, with users speculating about what triggered the sudden U.S. Air Force activity. Contino narrates the scene in real time, stating that something unusual had been spotted in the area. While social media often amplifies rumors, the speed and formation of the F-16 suggested an urgent intercept rather than a routine training exercise. Military aircraft are frequently deployed for airspace violations, but officials rarely confirm the nature of the object involved unless it poses an immediate public threat. The ambiguity has fueled public curiosity in this case. And there's a video there. I won't click it. Should I click it? Y'all want to see it? All right, we'll click it. See what happens. Uh-oh. Damn it, took us to TikTok. Can we go back? Yeah, we don't want to go to TikTok. Anyway, there we are. Bless you, bro. And the article continues on here, on and on and on and on. But yeah, anyone hear about this? And that picture there is pretty good if that's it. You know, it's a pretty red. I mean, unless it's a little balloon just floating away. Never know, but looks very interesting to me. And recently we also had, what was it, New Mexico, that had their airspace interrupted. Their, I think, all flights in a particular area of New Mexico due to some drone activity, they said. So are the drones back? Yeah, are they back? What is going on? I remember that rash we had. Yeah, so now and then earlier we're just showing the Trump and Obama thing, talking about aliens coming out and they're real. Alien files should be released and UFO, UAP files. What is going on, folks? Let's jump in the chat. What's up, Digger Dog? Cheers to you, man. We're just hanging out here a little bit. We're at the shop, getting into some news articles and some Bigfoot reports. Boom. There we are. Oh no, not the tiki-taki. Yeah, I'm not messing with it no more, bro. I just heard with the changes and everything, is just, yeah. didn't sound good. I've heard some people do some breakdowns, and you know who actually broke down one of them was Maverick Approach. You know who I found you hanging out over on Maverick Approach, William Nighthawk. That was super cool. And that's cool you tap into his information. Also, I seen you over on ECBRO. That was cool, man. I was lurking, checking it out from the sideline. And Jeff, I have something for you, Blazer and the Fountains. Congratulations to the Fountains who, reached 21 years together. Yes. Yeah, we were celebrating that last night. 21 years. Midwest Night Watchers and Chiro Sounds. The king and the queen of the Fountains. Mav, your brother too. Right on, bro. Okay, let's see. Before we twist this one up, what else? I had something else. Let me take a peek here. Oh yeah, so we're talking about UFOs and aliens and all that. Y'all know that Catalina is known for their activity. Giants. I seen Dave Politis touching on giants again. Also, he's covering another cluster of missing 411 cases out of Mount Tam. Yeah, Maya, you familiar? You ever been to Mount Tam? Mount Tamalpais. Mount Tamalpais. That's why they call it out here Mount Tam for short. And that's very, very near, I think it's Marin County. Yeah, I got vibes up in there. We went there. I think I've been there a couple of times and did a coastal drive. But we stopped in Mount Tam and hiked around and definitely got vibes there. And we also covered a stream a while back. I want to say it was last year, maybe early last year, mid last year, covering some strange Northern California missing persons cases and Mount Tamalpais, which Dave Politis is covering right now, did come up. So I'm interested to hear. I think he's dropped 2 cases out of there so far. And we'll see how many more he drops. But I got to think about the ones we covered. There were some that weren't that were also somewhat the outskirts of there, but super big energy there, says Maya. Yes. And I heard someone on Instagram ask, I forget what AI or whatever, like what is it about Los Angeles, which we're broadcasting from right now. They were asking, what is it about this area? And it was like the positive things, which was nice because, you could have gone down the black hole of all the negativity out here. But no, it mentioned all the different reasons. And it was like, oh, wow. Yeah, I see that. And super big energy spot out here as well. It just depends what vibe you're on, And of course, and that goes for anywhere, you're going to attract what you're putting out. So, so Mount Tam, he's covering Mount Tam. What else we got? There was something I was going to mention from up that way also. Oh, the Giants. So, my lunch break, dropping some stuff on the Nephilim, my lunch break YouTube channel. Dave Politis dropping some stuff on Giants again today. Glenn, still snow at the geysers 4+ days, says Digger Dog. Wow. So Catalina comes up with the Giants, the old world. They have the casino there, so there's some old world structures there. There's also the UFO activity, alien activity. Excuse me. Channel Islands is a hot spot, and yeah, there's something about maybe they're in the ocean there. We've had Latchkey Hustle. What happened to Latchkey Hustle, brother? Hopefully you're listening. Hopefully you're doing well. Shared his experience at Catalina, seeing stuff, strange objects underwater there while snorkeling, I believe, or scuba diving. But yeah, so we took a trip over there. The family, my brother, his family, and my niece, whose birthday it was yesterday, had taken a Catalina trip. Maybe some of you remember that. But on the way there, I'm like, all right, I'm totally sky watching for UFOs on our way there because you got to take a ferry or a boat. And so my eyes were peeled. We left early in the morning. It was still dark. Seen a few dolphins leaving the port of Long Beach. And yeah, I'm UFO hunting. And at some point, it was pretty cloudy. Some of you have seen this footage before, but we're going to rock it again. Yeah, something appeared, and it was pretty much, to me, it was an orb. I don't think it was the sun. And it was cool because I think we witnessed it in real time, and I was able to capture it, and it was really quick. And I was just like, thank you. Because, you know, when you're going somewhere like either Bigfooting or if you're going paranormal, you know, ghost hunting, you're hoping, wishing for some activity, right? And so we were just like, yeah, you know, it'd be cool to see like a UFO just come out of the ocean, come out of the water and pop up and just take off or something like that. But this is what happened. So let's check this out. So we did get some action that time, Catalina. This is before reaching the island. And this is a scrubbed down version. I think I may have zoomed a little bit. But again, it happened so fast, and luckily I nailed it this time. So here we go. And I don't think it was a planet or a star or anything like that. It seemed to be moving. It was hard to tell because we were moving on the boat and kind of bouncing too, but yeah, nothing else really popped up. And I was just like, oh yeah, thank you. You know, I thought it was something. Anyway, scrubbing it back there, run it one more again. Yeah, let me know what you think. Was it an orb? And Maya says, let's see, geysers, not hunters. And, you know, Maya, get to know Digger Dog if you'd like. Y'all are somewhat, y'all are Norcalians. I'll say that. There's a little zoom in on that. Yeah, there it is. I don't know. I thought, again, on our way to Catalina, high strangeness on the mind. Moon at Noon says it's the snack. What's going on? Y'all got the munchies in the chat already? Y'all passing around snacks? What's going on, Roger? All right, a little capture share there. I'll be doing more of those. There's a bunch of little things I do want to share that, yeah, I'd love to hear your opinion. And it doesn't, believe me, you can say whatever you'd like, even if it's may not be too nice. You see, organic craft looks like to me, Dwarf. Yeah, thank you, Maya. Yeah, I think so too. There was a few, and I did have another sighting at the beach once we got onto the island. Remember, I did go to the museum and ask them about the giants, and they said there's nothing about giants here, but it is $18 if you'd like to take our 1 hour tour of the museum. And I said, heck no, I ain't doing that. I ain't got the $18. And there's nothing about giants in there, really? Jeez. I would have paid it if they would have had something. And we made a little video out of that. Maria Walker, what's up? Welcome on in. All right, we're hitting the hour mark here. I won't hold you hostage any longer. Gonna let you all enjoy the rest of the weekend, the rest of this Saturday. Hopefully you're having a good time. And again, if you're just coming in and maybe missed the Bigfoot report, and we're here for that, hit that rewind. And yeah, don't forget to tickle the algorithm for us. Y'all know how to do that, right? Yeah, there is a little hum. I've noticed it even here. Watch. So there's some feedback. We're getting some feedback. So I'll work on that. Again, super stoked that my DJ studio is up and working today. Jeez. Yeah, we've been having trouble with that. Again, thank you everybody for hanging out. Again, if you have any reports you'd like to share, what's up, Shelly? There's Daryl, double barrel Daryl up in the chat. Yeah, you got any reports you want to share? You can remain anonymous. Get at me. Sky's the Limit Smoke Shop. We're going to be open late tonight as there's a big event. So yeah, I was talking earlier, man, whoever's performing tonight, they got a graphics guy. There's going to be visuals. These guys were bringing looks like some really cool equipment out of their U-Haul. Met one guy, the visual guy. I was like, dude, he was showing me some of his work. I was like, whoa, dude makes album covers and everything. I was like, dude, you probably kill it with the thumbnails. He's like, yeah. I was like, dude, we need to talk. Super cool cat from Oakland. So we got people from the Bay out here. Big event going on tonight, folks. Slide through, I guess. If you ain't got nothing to do, I'll be at home. 7, I'll be out, but the shop will remain open. Sky's the Limit Smoke Shop / skate shop. You could get at us here. That is the address, 3925 East Olympic Boulevard, East Los Angeles, bordering Boyle Heights. Yeah, we're right on Indiana and Olympic Boulevard. That's my shop spread, but there is the Instagram for the shop. If you're on Insta, we'd appreciate a follow. And yeah, we've been growing over there. Bro's been doing pretty good with the numbers. And he has not been posting recently, but I'm sure he will at some point. Boom. All right, folks, let's wrap this one up. Light it up. And y'all know the rest.